Hello and welcome to the Daily Draft, where we take magic one draft at a time. My name is Morgan, and this is a Legendary Cube draft. We are in a Swiss because I'm going to stick it out for you guys. If I draft a terrible deck, you'll get to see the whole 3 glorious rounds of it. And also, Legendary Cube's kind of interesting. They changed it from the last incarnation of the Legendary Cube. Now all of the creatures are not legendary. However, there's still a lot of great legendary creatures here, and there are no signets as well, so you can't just take signets anymore. That's not something that you can do. Here I'm looking at Jace Vryn's Prodigy. This format is full of 6, 7, 10 drops, so having a Jace Vryn's Prodigy around to do something on turn 2 is pretty great. And he's pretty strong. On top of that, there's Sylvan Messenger, because there is an Elves deck. Cyclonic Rift, I expect to go pretty early out of this pack, because it's probably the second best card in the pack after Jace. But yeah, we're going to take the low drop creature, see what we can do with it. Here, we've got Ruinous Path, Blood Crypt. All of the fetch lands in this cube are the slow fetch lands, so like the floodplain from Mirage, it enters the battlefield tapped, and then you don't have to pay any life to fetch with it, and the card enters the battlefield untapped. Izuri's kind of cool. Just makes your guys pretty big. I think it's like Izuri or Ruinous Path or maybe Blood Crypt. I think I'm just going to take the Ruinous Path because it goes better with Jace. Here we've got Kega, Toxic Deluge, I guess, Boros Garrison and Transguild Promenade, Tombstone Stroll. What does it do? Cumulative upkeep of 2. 3 of each upkeep if it is on the battlefield. Each player puts a 2/2 black zombie creature token with haste named Tombstone onto the battlefield for each creature. Okay. Or when... It's really weird. I'm just gonna go take the Kega. I think, like, your fat, it doesn't really matter what your fat is. The Kega seems pretty good. And it's blue. It goes with my Jace. So far we don't really have a theme yet, which is kind of problematic in this cube. Usually having a theme is nice. Alright. So... Excuse me. So we got Ghastly Demise, which I think I'm going to take because it's an instant, it's a removal spell. It cares about your cards in your graveyard, which is all fine. Pacifism and Mesa Enchantress are sweet because there's like the Enchantress deck in the cube. And Phyrexian Arena draws extra cards, but I think we can draw extra cards no matter what we cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the removal spell. That's usually how I approach this cube, is just removal, more removal. Alright, so we've got Foul Renewal, which you can't cast if you don't have a creature in your graveyard. There is a Thieving Magpie. Hero's Blade is actually pretty strong. I think I just want Lucian. Like, the unblockable, like, horsemanship is, this creature can't be blocked except for by creatures with horsemanship, and that's essentially unblockable in this format. So, we're just gonna take it. That's how that's gonna work. But yeah, so taking removal spells and ways to draw extra cards I think is just fine. So there are a bunch of bounce effects, so I'm not taking this Phage. There's Mizzium Mortars, which is good. Repeal, which is fine. Bone Horde. Now I have creature cards in all graveyards. I don't want that. I don't want to pick that. I want to pick like Repeal or Mizzium Mortars. I think it's just Mizzium Mortars. Taking more removal seems like a fine thing to do, even if I don't overload it. There's a lot of 4 toughness creatures in this format, so that's fine. I like how we're starting out. I like taking like super powerful cards like Jace and then removal. We don't have any ramp, but You don't necessarily get a lot of ramp in this format. One thing I do want to keep an eye out for are bounce lands, either on or off color, because there are cards worth splashing for in this format, so any bounce land could be on color. Alright. I'm so impatient when it comes to drafting. Like, this person is just bugging me right now. Napster. Alright. Instant and sorcery spells you control have rebound. Not quite what I'm interested in. Now, don't really want Zurgo. If I had taken the Elves deck, I probably would be playing Dwynnin. Sidisi Brood Tyrant, I think, is worse in this deck than Sidisi Undead Vizier. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that. Demonic Tutoring seems fine. I will take this Late Tundra, probably. Let's see. Into the Royal is fine. Fairy Mechanist is not good in this deck. Burn Away does deal a lot of points of damage, actually. That's worth looking into. Also shuts down graveyard shenanigans. Yeah, I think I take Burn Away here, actually. Just having infinite removal spells seems like the way to go. So, yeah, we'll do that. Like, Tundra is good, but Tundra, like I said, when the fetch lands are like the slow fetches, it doesn't... It gets a little bit worse, especially since there are only 5 of them. Whereas, like, bounce lands we can pick up and make good use of. Alright. Since I have Jace and Lejeune, I don't think I really need a Bitter Revelation. It does put cards in my graveyard for Ghastly Demise, but I think I just want the Dragon Skull Summit for some of that sweet mana fixing action. Charmbreaker Devil seems really sweet too, actually. No, I'm just gonna take the Dragon Skull Summit. Kagamaro is sweet. It's basically just a sweeper that maybe can be recurred. There's Braid of Fire, which doesn't do a whole lot in this deck right now. The cumulative upkeep is add red to your mana pool, so the first upkeep you have it in play, you add 1 red, and the second time you add 2 red, and just so on. We're just gonna take the Kagamaro, though. The card seems sweet. There's also Mizzix of the Is Magnus. I think I'm just gonna take a Regrowth. Regrowth is off color for now, but it might not be later. Dramoka is like the most powerful card in that pack, so we're gonna take it. Armillary Sphere is super good. You can sacrifice it, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal and put them into your hand. So, I mean, good fixing. But Regrowth is off color for now, but being able to regrow, like Kega, yes, is pretty good. I will take a Bonehorde this time. I don't think I'm going to play it yet, but we'll see. So this deck is shaping up to be pretty good. I mean, all of the cards in it are pretty good, except for this Cast Through Time. Get out of here, Cast Through Time. It's got some powerful creatures in it. Kega, Kagamaro. So we got Everflowing Chalice, which, if I needed a 2-drop, it would be good. There's Kalitas, Trigger of Get, which, like Burn Away, has the benefit of shutting down graveyard shenanigans. Sultai Charm, and Sultai Charm is good in that it's very versatile, but it's slightly off color right now. Fiery Fall is mana fixing and removal, and the art is really cool, so that's something worth noting. I think I just take the Sultai Charm here. Like, even if I don't have a breeding pool, I think that having access to the versatility of Sultai Charm is pretty good. Alright, so here we've got Kokusho, Honden of Seeing Winds, which is my favorite. Savage Lands, which could be mana fixing, like, could be pretty decent mana fixing actually. No. I think I'm actually just gonna take the Savage Lands here. Teferi is also good. Like, I could take the Teferi. I don't expect that guy to wheel, but I'm just gonna take the Savage Lands. I want better mana fixing than all of my opponents, is how it's gonna work. Mystic Restraints is basically claustrophobia, for those of you who didn't watch my Champions of Kamigawa video, which you should have probably. Put a creature card from among them. I have 5 creatures right now. Yeah, Tracker's Instincts is not something I'm super interested in. Sun Quan is great. It makes all of your creatures unblockable, basically, by giving them horsemanship. Phyrexian Metamorph is cool. It might be something worth playing. But again, I think I just want mana. Like, excuse me. There's so many powerful cards in this format that if you just take mana fixing, you should be able to get away with passing a couple of the more powerful cards. Ooh. Do we have a plan? I mean, there's also Beacon of Tomorrows, which I really enjoy. Hey, me. Destroy X target non-black creatures. My dog is whining. Strikes of Sorrow seems pretty good. Spider Spawning is very good, just as a card. And again, I like Beacon of Tomorrows, but Beacon of Tomorrows tends to wheel a lot, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Dregs of Sorrow. Dregs of Sorrow is kind of awkward as it starts out at 5 mana, or 6 mana, but I think it should be fine. Here I'm going to go ahead and take Evil Twin. Clones are very good. Clones that kill creatures are even better. There's not a lot else I want from this pack anyway. Maggie, go away. See, I have a lot of things to hit with this Augur Bolus. There's also Carador Ghost Chieftain, which is kind of cool. There's also a Doomwake Giant, which is also kind of cool. Go big. Ooh, Deep Analysis. What does Dread Summons do? Okay, so this mills both players, but only puts zombies under my control. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a win condition if you ask me. There's also, again, Deep Analysis. We can give this card a shot, I think. That seems like a good finisher. I'm not sure if we're playing Carador Ghost Chieftain, but he's the coolest card in that pack, so. Alright, so here we've got Brago, King Eternal, which is good with not a lot of cards in this deck, actually. So I think I'm just going to take the Mystic Monastery. Beacon of Destruction is also very good. Conjurer's Closet, if you ever played in Avacyn Restored Limited, that card was kind of the nut. We're just gonna cast our spells, I guess. Suddenly mana fixing. Alright, we willed Fiery Fall, which is fine. Stitcher Geralf is interesting, but there's so many 5 drops in this format that I think just taking the mana fixing is fine. And Fiery Fall can double as removal. Oh, we will Teferi. Alright. So, focus on blue fixing, I guess. Teferi is definitely worth playing though. Creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield have flash, and each opponent can cast spells only anytime he or she can cast a sorcery. Yeah, pretty good. Great against Jace. So, Teferi is definitely worthwhile. Ooh, Sun Quan also wield. There's a Tracker's Instincts. Still don't have that many creatures though, and there's also a Mystic Restraints. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Mystic Restraints. It's just another piece of removal. I'm suddenly regretting it. Spider Spawning, probably not making the cut at this point, but Corpse Turn makes it a little bit more likely, I guess. Spider Spawning, sweet. Teferi is kind of cool because if we get the card Mystical Teachings, which it's 4 mana, search your library for an instant or a creature card with flash, then you can search your library for any creature if Teferi is on the battlefield, because creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield have flash, which is sweet. Let's cut somebody off the brothers. And Enduring Ideal. Enduring Ideal needs a very specific deck built around it, so it's probably a pick one, pack one, or a last pick, generally, unless you're already in the Mace Enchantress deck. Okie dokie. So we've got Temple of Deceit, Smother, which I don't think actually hits a lot of things, Slice and Twain, which isn't actually in our colors right now. Mere Battlesphere is pretty good. Gonna take the Rootbound Crag. I'll just take the Battle Ball. So we've got Compulsive Research, Hinterland Harbor. Hinterland Harbor is probably going to enter the battlefield most of the time, so taking Temple of Mystery doesn't seem that bad if I was going to take that. Resounding Thunder is pretty sweet. There's also Pia and Kieran, but I'm not as interested in those. So it's probably Resounding Thunder or Temple of Mystery. I'll just take a Temple. Whew. Excuse me. Our deck is actually shaping up to be pretty sweet with Cruel Ultimatum. Excuse me. There's a Badlands in this pack. Interpret the Signs is funny. I'm not passing a Cruel Ultimatum. Probably not playing this Carador, but... Or should I say Caradork. And probably not playing this Spider Spawning either. But we've got the Regrowth for the Cruel Ultimatum, so yeah, why not? Most of my decks are Cruel Ultimatum decks, if I'm really honest with myself. I do need more black mana fixing. Alright, so we've got Foth, which is one of my favorite Magic cards of all time. Or Opulent Palace. Opulent Palace is black mana fixing. I have 5 lands. actually kind of a tough pick for me, I think. Hoping to wield the Druidic Satchel. I think I want the Foff. Like, the card's my favorite. I can't pass that. Marin of Clan Neltoth is pretty good. Just like in general. There's also Temple of Malady. There's also like Arcane Denial and Scrap. Arcane Denial, there's a lot of like good things going on in this format. So like giving your opponent 2 cards to counter one of their spells is not actually terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. So we got Dreamstone Hedron, which isn't actually that great for us, but it's still fine. Mikaeus the Unhallowed is very good. I think I'm gonna take it. We've got a bunch of non-humans like Kagemaru, Sidisi, Keiga, Mirror Battlesphere, so I think that's actually a pretty fun one. Yeah, I would be happy if I had a little bit more black mana fixing, but... So we've got Jace and Teferi and Lujun that aren't non-human. But like, Mirror Battlesphere, yeah, that's... So we've got Mana War from your graveyard and sacrificing. Oh, so it's just a 6/6. I'm just gonna take the Mana War. Probably not gonna play Dread summons right now. Dregs of Sorrow, if I have another piece of removal, something I would also be interested in not playing. Ooh, we did it, kids. So Pyromancer's Goggles is the only reason to draft this deck, and I'm gonna take it. Yeah. It's not the only reason to draft Grixis, but it's a solid reason to do that. Right now Teferi doesn't do a whole lot. I guess it means that people can't counter your Pyromancer's Goggled Cruel Ultimatum. Yeah, look at Dregs of Sorrow for now. Pyromancer's Goggles is from Magic Origins. It says, add red to your mana pool when that mana is spent to cast a red instant or sorcery spell. Copy that. Rubon Craig is fine. Got more green fixing than is strictly necessary. I have a bunch of 7-drops already, so not really interested in Call the Skybreaker. Resounding Thunder did wheel, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that over some dorky 2/3-drops. I'll take Druidy. Druidic Satchel Wield 2. Yay, this card is good. Pay 2. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put a 1/1 Saproling token onto the battlefield. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield under your control. If it's a non-creature, non-land card, you gain 2 life. So, card is pretty good. Given that I have that, yeah, I think I just got Teferi because, like, Sidisi gets better. What is this? LC. Deck is sweet. Sort by color. So I'm good on green. I don't need any more green. I've got Rubon Craig, Savage Lands, and Temple of one of the reasons that I might have wanted the Opulent Palace over the Fact or Fiction is because it fits for blue-black. I do have a De Beer Aqueduct, and that's it for blue-black fixing. Excuse me. I don't particularly want to have a basic forest in here. So no basic forests. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 blue, 1, 2, 3 black. My black is pretty color intensive though. Do I need more red? 1, 2, 3, 4 red. No, I don't need more red. I guess having Fiery Fall. No. Just do it like that. One of the other reasons to cut Teferi is because Teferi is kind of hard to cast in this deck. Anyway, so this is our sweet legendary cube deck. It's Grixis Control. Surprise! And I'll see you guys in round 1.